Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Got my first race to start off Season 2 of 2022. Got a little bit of a late start compared to a lot of people. Had some other stuff going on and was not able to get time slots I wanted to in the first day. So we are doing ARCA here on what's kind of a midday time slot. Not a super strong strength of field due to the time slot that I'm doing. I don't feel like I'm going to be super quick, but certainly going to give it my best effort. I feel like, to a degree, a little bit my mile-and-a-half programs have improved on these NASCAR series, but just have to see how it does overall. It seems like there's some very quick guys in qualifying, and I have not quite figured out how to push the thing as fast as possible without overdriving it and losing it off the corners. I'm still kind of in tire saving mode, so my optimal is still 2.5 tenths off of what the fastest guys are running, so just going to do what I can. First lap's going to be a complete throwaway because of how bad I drove turn 3. That's also going to kill the momentum for lap 2, so we'll just have to see if I can dig and get anything out of it. Car number 11 out of 22, so like I said, not a super strong strength of field. Managed to find my way in 15th right now. Second lap's looking much better. Hopefully can try to not overdrive turn 3 this time. Give myself a little bit of a better shot. Not a great turn, but certainly much better than the last run was, so we'll see where this will put us.
That's the end of the session. P15.
Managed to get myself up to 6th with an 82, so still about a 10.5 off. Just, you know, got to find that extra way to drive it in without overdriving it, but better off. Obviously, not thrilled to be starting on the outside, although hopefully I can try to just do what I can to tire save, get my way to the bottom. Gonna take the steering ratio up. I've got the offset all the way to -15 just for my own comfort. Brake bias all the way back to -60. I did happen to see the people were complaining about how tight the setup was. Gonna get the spotter off as well. Did see how much people were complaining about the setup, so certainly just going to try to do what I can to save tires. I think that's going to be the big key in order to have anything at the end. So if I happen to drop off at the end, I'm okay with that, or at the beginning, I'm okay with that as long as I don't lose too much touch. Obviously, for my iRating, a top 10 would be a decent day, should be expected of me. Top 5 is what I'm shooting for since I was able to qualify towards the front, and just gotta try to see what I can do out of it. You're going to see mostly short track series out of me this season. You know, that's what I'm going to be working on setup wise. They're all going to be open setups for the most part as well. That's what I'm going to be working on setup wise for Team Goon Squad. We're going to start by releasing a free late model setup. Should be out a little bit later this week, and then you know, we'll keep adding the other series, but I'm going to run most of the series hopefully to start this week, just so you can kind of see what everything looks like. And then should have you know, a little more fun with that. Not that I mean, I enjoy the NASCAR series. I just hate getting killed in them, and I hate some of the driving, but obviously you can get that in any of the series. So we'll see. And then I think my plan is to actually run the GT4 Endurance series. So that way, if I can only do 1 or 2 road races a week, I can try to maximize the time that I spend on the track, and just more track time and more laps certainly should help improve that. And I think the GT4 will be a good step up from like the Mazdas, but will not be ridiculously over my head in terms of, you know, being crazy powered. So not sure which GT4 it'll be in terms of the car. And then I think I'll probably either sprinkle in some Mazdas, you know, production car challenge, or GT3 or rookie, whatever I feel like running at that time. So gonna get ready to go green here though to start off the season.
Okay, Jake, stay calm.
Leaders are off and rolling early, not the best start ever, but certainly not the worst. I've got the 4 directly to my inside. 19 looks like he got a bit of a slow start. Just gonna have to sit here, try to get, I think I'm actually trying to get the 4 by me since I had a gap back to V9, so I can try to get my way to the bottom. Certainly gonna have to protect the bottom when I can, but again, if people want to race hard, then I'm probably just gonna let them go. Use the brakes to start just to get the thing in slowly. You can see how much the 8 drove in. It's fine if guys want to drive in harder. I'm sure some of these guys understand how to drive in harder and still save tires than me, but I'm just gonna try to stick to my plan going in.
Keep it steady, still there. Clear inside. Stay high.
Try to get the 8 by me as quickly as I can. That should allow me to fall into a comfortable place as the 22's the next car back. He's going to be catching since I kind of took a bit of a slower exit, allowing the 8 to get in, but just got to try to get the car as slow as I can into the corners and minimize the wheel deflection, but not destroy the right front. Looks like the 4 got into the outside wall out of turn 4.
The leader has just done a 31.16 P8. The car in front's lap time is a 31.
Expect to see if anybody's running hard up front and pushing hard off the beginning. They're going to be wearing their right front out as the race goes, and we should be able to get by them later on. Like I said, I don't want to lose touch with the front too much. Otherwise it'll be too much of a gap to make up as the run goes along, but certainly do not want to push too hard either. Horse seems to be a bit slower. Not sure if he's got a front end damage issue or if he's just kind of doing the same thing as me, is backing off. So it's going to sit behind him right now. I got the 7 and the 1 who got by the 22. 7's coming up on the back end. Like I said, I would expect some people to be a bit quicker than me up front and still be able to save tires, but I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be a bit fast up front but wearing out tires and be slower. 4 seems to be a bit off, so I'm just going to try to get by him now going into turn 1.
He's still there. Keep digging.
Don't want to lose too much touch, and I think I can run a little bit faster than him without wearing out the right front. 4 gets a really good run off of the corner though. It's kind of taken a bit easy through turn 1 to make sure that I still didn't wear out that right front since I started with a little bit of a lower entry. You can see the front 6 are all lined up pretty much nose to tail, and we've got a gap back to the 4. I think that's what the 7's trying to do. Just seems to be a bit slow through the center of the corner. He'll still probably get that run off of the corner. You got the 1 flying way out down to the bottom, and he's going to try to work his way towards the front.
Keep it together. Hold your line.
7th position.
He's still there.
Hopefully be able to clear the 4 this time off of turn 4. Able to get by him, but then as I say that, you've got the 1 coming up as well.
You've just done a 31.43. Okay,
So just going to have to watch out for him. He's driving in much deeper. Not sure if he's driving it in too hard right now. I'm going to wear out the right front, or if he's got a good pace, but hopefully the 4 will hold them back a little bit, and I can kind of just build a little bit of a gap, be able to take it easy, not have too much pressure. 1.6 up to the 8 right now. We are only 7 laps in. I'm not really worried about trying to chop that gap down to the 8 yet. Don't want to lose too much time, but just really in tire conservation mode, trying to log laps. You can see my best laps not very quick at all. Really just trying to log some laps, get a little loose there. I had to lift briefly to keep it from kicking out. 1 was able to get by the 4. So I think you'll start seeing him close the gap down to us, which is fine. Car is just so tight. I've seen everybody talking about that, and definitely can feel like even for me, I know I'm one that, you know, probably is not good enough to drive a very, very loose setup like some of the fastest guys, but I've certainly noticed that the thing feels really loose or really tight getting into the corners. 3's falling back a little bit, 1.3 or 1.4 at the line. It's about 0.3, 0.4 to the 1. He's closing up. He's running the high side. He's just trying to find whatever clean air he can to try to get closer to me into the corners. Still think for me the bottom lane is going to be the way to go as I log laps and try to save tires. One goes real slow through 4 that time, able to extend the gap out to 0.5 at the line, 1.2 to the 3. Not sure if the 3's got issues or if he just bailed out of that front gap to try to save tires, the front group to save tires. Just trying to take it easy, trying to get the car through without wearing out the right front too bad. Last 10 laps or so is when I'll hopefully see a big enough time difference between everybody up front and can try to close up. Pulled away a little bit again from the 1 that lap, caught the 3 a little bit. Kind of has me worried that maybe the 1's trying to do a little bit of saving and I'm driving too hard now, but I feel like with as high as the 1 was running, he might already be wearing out that right front too much. Just trying to do the best I can to get on the throttle, maximize the power off without leaning on the right front too much. Slowly closing down the 3, got a little bit of smoke, a little bit of wall tap up front.
That's good consistency, keep it up.
4's actually coming back to run side by side with the 1. Those 2 continue to battle behind. That could help me pull away a little bit without having to drive any harder. You can see that gap's now at about to a second behind. We're down to 0.8 up to the 3, so pretty happy with that. Oh, I just barely tapped the wall going into the corner. Not enough to do any incident points, but just cut it a little too close there. Gap to the 19's about 1.7. Keep an eye on that one. Overshot turn 3 a little bit there, but too high. 19 comes way off the wall out of turn 4 down the front stretch into the dogleg. Pulling away as well from the 1 of the 4 behind, so again it kind of scares me, the fact that I'm catching the 3 and the fact that we're pulling away behind if I'm pushing too far, but just have to see. Closing in on halfway, going to be 15 done next time by, 20 to go. Got 1 car way up high in the wall, it looks like that is the 9. He was in 3rd, got into the wall through 3 and 4. Catching him, so there could be a spot, could gain into turn 1 depending on what his damage is like. He gets way loose there on the bottom of 1 and 2. It's allowed us to close big time to the 3, the 9 and the 19. Spread out quite a bit up front. Front 2 are pulled away, 3rd's got a big gap. We've still got about a second and a half. 1's actually fallen quite a bit back. The 4 and the 7 and the 22 has all gotten by him, so I think he might have some problems. The second half back to them, so it gives me a bit of comfort to be able to try to figure out my way around these 3 as quickly and cleanly as possible without killing the car. 19's committing to the high side as the 9 runs low. We'll just have to see if 1's faster than the other. 19's trying to work his way by the 9 going down the backstretch into turn 3. He's kind of taking a similar line to what I want to be doing. I overshot 3 a little bit, so we're going to try to get to the inside of the 19 here down the front stretch, get by him.
Still there.
He's going to have to fall in line behind the 3. A little bit of contact with the 19. 19 just seems like he's a bit all over the place right now. Able to get by him though. Just back into 6th where we started. So watch to see if he tried to dive in on us. Not sure if I want to push to try to get by the 3 now, or if I want to see if the 3 can work his way back to the 9. Just follow him through.
That's half distance. You're looking good for fuel. 6th place.
Thinking about bracketing up the brake bias here shortly. I think the more the 9 runs the top, if the 3 can keep it clean, we can both gain on him, but I certainly don't want to lose too much time to everybody up front. I don't think we have a shot at the win now. I think the front 2 are too far gone, unless we really can start picking up time, but certainly not anything bad, just barely tapped the back of the 3. Wasn't able to cut down on the run. I think I have to try to get by the 3. I don't think he's closing up to the 9 quite as fast as I wanted to, so got 15 to go this time by working towards the last third of the race. I think I might have a little bit better tires than the 3. See if I can cut down to his inside this time down the front stretch. With the brake bias back a little bit as well.
He's still there. Clear up high, right side.
See if the 3 tries to get a run through 1 and 2. See if he cuts down low. A little bit of contact from him, nothing too big of a deal though.
One car inside.
He's going to cut down as I kind of overshot the corner.
They're inside.
Not quite able to get the run though. He's giving me a bit of room. Thank you to him for being respectful. Closing up on the 9. Got the 9 and the 8 up ahead. And again is committing to that high line. Especially through 1 and 2. Oh, we got one car way down, slamming the inside wall down the backstretch. Did not see who that was, but have to watch for somebody off the pace if they're still there when we get back. Next time by. Yep. Might have barely scraped the wall that time out of 4. Certainly getting a run on the 9 though. Trying to take that arc and then cut all the way down to the bottom off of turn 2.
He's still there.
Not sure if we'll get a run to get by the 9
He's still there.
into turn 3 as he had the momentum on the top side, but
Still there.
certainly feel like potentially off of turn 4 should be able to get by him.
Clear high.
Able to clear him. We'll see if that also puts the 9 battling with the 3 now. 1 second back from the 8. Also got the leaders running side by side up ahead. 9 dives it way in. Wasn't ever to us. A lot of wash ups, so we'll pull away on the backstretch. 3 seconds up to the leaders with 11 to go. That's going to be a big gap to try to make up in the last third, but certainly going to give it my best effort, see if I can close it down at all. I feel like the tire savings kind of showing what I wanted to do. Looks like it was the number 4 that also had the issue down the backstretch. We'll have to look and see if that was his doing or somebody else sent him down the track. 8 has an issue off of turn 2. I kind of overdrive 1 and 2 that time. Probably did not do any favors to the right front. Able to get a run on the 8 though. Just gonna try to make sure I get on the brakes, get the car to the bottom as the 8 is also running the high line. Not gonna be able to get to him side by side in turn 2, but certainly gonna be able to get the run down the back stretch.
You got one right side.
Try to look low on him.
Still there. Still there.
Have to wait to pick up the throttle to make sure I don't wash up into him. It's gonna be hard to get the run off the corner.
Clear high.
The guy ahead is cool.
Just have to see if I can work my way this time through 1 and 2 now that we're closer.
Right side.
Had to blow the throttle there just to make sure I stayed off of him. That kind of gave him a little bit of an advantage.
Still there.
Out of turn 2.
Keep it steady. Still there. Still there.
I feel like in a lap or 2 I should be able to clear him
Still
though.
there.
Just gotta keep working the bottom.
He's still there. Hold your line.
We're still closing up, although not quite quickly enough to the 2 and the 6 up front.
P3.
Still there.
Mostly just concerned with getting by the 8 right now to be able to take over 3rd.
Outside line's clear.
Able to clear him. We'll see if he tries to get a run down the backstretch and go low. I don't think he'll be close enough to be able to do it into turn 3 unless he really overdrives it. Overshot 3 a little bit. Back brake bias back all the way. We've got 2.4 to the 2 in the lead. He clears the 6. We'll see if he starts pulling away.
That was 30
6 gets in the wall in 1 and 2. That's going to slow him down big time. Comes off the wall there. Going to give me a shot at a second place finish though. Next time by, we're going to have 6 to go. Just trying to drive this as clean as I can. Give the best effort. We've got 2 seconds to the 2. I don't think I can close that down. It's enough time to get by him.
The gap's now 0.49.
I certainly think a good shot at the 6 though for second. Just trying to manage the tires as best as I can. It's going to be my only shot at either one of them. And I'm certainly going to have to work my way by the 6 as quickly as possible. Car gets really tight through 3 and 4. I think I picked up the throttle a bit too early. Able to pick up about 3 to 4 tenths on the 2, so would need to continue to gain that. I clipped the wall going into turn 1, trying to push this thing as hard as I can. I got on the throttle way too early there, had to bail out of it. That's going to give the 2 momentum down the backstretch. Kills any chance I had of gaining on this lap. Still closing up on the 6. I give the car the rest. No pressure at all behind from the 8. We have pulled away big time. I think that mistake there through 1 and 2 was killed any chance I had of getting to the 2. Still think possibly a second place finish could happen. 6 has kind of regained it. He's starting to pull back away. I have 3 to go this time by. I feel like I've got a little bit better tires than these 2, just I don't think quite enough time to make it happen.
That lap was at 32.68.
And that time I finally get 0x. I'm just pushing this as hard as I can, trying to run the edge, and gotta quit doing dumb stuff like that. It's not gonna help me close up to the 6 at all. I wouldn't have had dumb mistakes like that, I could be much further forward and trying to battle for the lead. So no, this is a pretty weak strength of field. Just got to continue to work on cleaning up mistakes like that, because you cannot make those against the top guys at all.
2 laps left. Come on, you're looking good for a podium. That lap time was
2's really slowed down. He's really backed up to us. 6 is closing the gap, so maybe if those 2 can run side by side again, that can slow both of them down and I can catch both of them. The gap to the 6 has stayed pretty consistent at about a half a second. Just gonna give it my all here on this white flag lap. These 2 are gonna go side by side. If nothing else, we'll have a good view of the battle for the race win.
Okay, Jake. 1 more to
6
go.
was able to get by the 2 that time into 1 and 2 with no problem.
Behind is now 1.72. That last lap was at 32.61.
I don't even think I have enough of a chance to get to the 2. I mean, he's falling like a rock, but I just don't think I'm going to be able to get there. I think he drove a good enough 3 and 4 that time that while we closed down big time, just not able to get to him. So 3rd place finish. Yeah, minimize mistakes, and maybe I had the possibility of a 2nd place finish to get by the 2, and I don't know if I would have been able to get to the 6. He was able to recover after that contact on the wall. But certainly much better than I expected it to go. I will gladly take finishing 3rd as the 11 car. Seems like I don't know, hopefully I did a decent job of tire saving and executing that strategy. So take a look at the tires and see what those look like. 75/88, I mean, not terrible. I would have preferred the right front to be a little bit better, but obviously we saw those last 5 or 6 laps I was leaning on it pretty hard, and had some other shots earlier in the run as well that I overshot and then leaned on that right front a bit too hard. So not a bad run though. Setup was just so tight. It was so hard. So the 1 ended up finishing all the way back in 14th. Let's take a look and see what happened to the 4. He was falling back quite a bit after we got by him, so can see up ahead, that was the point when I was working on the 9, I believe that was. But it'll be the next lap that the 4 is going to have his issues. He was battling side by side with the 22, and this was when they had both gotten by the 1. You can see the 7 up behind as well. So 7's getting the run on the outside of 22. He's trying to follow in line with the 4. They're both working up ahead to the 19. Let's see what happens. 19 was really slow. 4 is going to try to cut. Oh, okay, so there's a bit of netcode to start. The 4 was getting the run off of turn 2. He was going to try to cut underneath the 19 here, and thought he was clear of the 22 to cut down. 22's kind of coming up the track. Bit of netcode to start with that, and that's what gets the 4 loose. It also kind of gets the 22 sent to the inside, and as the 4 corrects, comes back, gets the contact with the right front nose of the 22, and that sends both of them to the inside wall, both with hard contact on the inside wall. Very, very hard contact for both of them. So that's what ended up doing that there. I don't know. I mean, I kind of put that a little bit on the 4. I don't think he was really quite clear enough to come down ahead of the 22. And if he had stayed up high just to run behind the 19 out of turn 2, might not have had that netcode there. So, yeah, feel free to leave your feedback. I mean, I know this isn't a wreck that I had. It's just I feel like it's a good situation for me to always analyze other people or other situations, kind of take what I can from it to make sure that, you know, if I'm in that similar situation, I have a better understanding of how to react or how to get through it as optimally as possible. So feel free to leave your feedback on that. Like I said, I'm going to put most of that on the 4 for just probably not being in a good spot to cut down. He just really wasn't quite clear there of the 22 to be able to do that. So I think if he would have stayed behind the 19, he might have been able to get enough of a run that he could have potentially cut down underneath the 22, you know, in front of him somewhere in the, you know, the first third of the backstretch to, you know, right around the halfway point. So, but with that being said, let's go take a look at the results. Hopefully should be a somewhat decent start to the season from both iRating and safety rating perspective. Obviously, those took quite a hit to end off season 122 with week 13, but overall not too bad. Ended up being top split of 5 again. It was a midday time, so it wasn't going to be a big field and wasn't going to be a high strength field. So 25:37. I think that was actually a little bit above where I was coming in. But yeah, certainly did not run the fastest lap time. The 9 did that. My plan was just to save and try to gain as much as I could. So pretty happy with how I executed that. Obviously, need to learn how to run even faster in terms of upfront pace while still maintaining the same tire strategy. If I can do that, that will help me with being able to work my way up, competing in higher strength of fields and being able to do more. But certainly pretty good result. Glad to have gotten a 0x out of it to start the season that way. Managed to pick up 84 for iRating, so just under 2450, and 0.16 on the safety rating. So working on clearing out the incidents from the B Open Series race at Phoenix for week 13, which was week 4 of that series. So I think a couple more good ones should be able to get that 0.4 jump and keep working towards getting to the 4.0 to get the A license. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. Again, feel free to leave your feedback, your analysis of the incident with the 4. Let me know how your guys' season has started, what you guys are thinking about running this season. If you've had any good results, just love to hear from you guys in general. Hopefully you are liking what I am potentially going to be running this season. Feel free to leave any comments if there's something you want to see. Maybe I can work that in on some off weeks, or if I got time to run more races in a week, whatnot. I always love mixing in different stuff to have some fun with it. So like to keep a good core going, but love to mix in some other stuff around that. So hopefully this is signs for a much better season than season 1 will be, and really going to try to take some big steps forward for you guys this season. Both in my driving, my safety factor, and hopefully that'll turn into some better results as well. So looking forward to it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that one, and until the next one, I hope all your races are clean, your finishes are good, and your laps are fast. Thanks for watching.